Yes, good afternoon. It's just gone 2 o'clock here. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name is Phil. Welcome to another special show where we're joined by another ex-Leicester City player. We've got Lee Peltier waiting for us in the wings. So get your questions in, get your comments in, and we will put your questions to Lee. Ask him anything you want about his time at Leicester, at some of his other clubs, what's he up to now and what's in the future for him. So thanks for joining us. Get your views in, get your questions in, and join us live with Lee Peltier. Yes, good afternoon to you. As ever, I can get your comments up on screen. Good afternoon to Matty Bond. How are you, Matty? I think I saw you on Facebook earlier. You were down somewhere in France or something like that. I don't know what you're doing down there, but... And Karen, how are you? How are you all the way over there? If you're a far-flung fox, let us know where you're watching from. And Richard Wilson is watching. Thanks, Richard. What questions would you like to ask Lee Peltier when he joins us very, very shortly? Let's bring in Jamie from the Fox's Arms. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good, just sheltering from the wind. I'm in a different position today, not outside. It's a bit windy out there today.
I'm sure most of you know that Jamie is from the Fox's Arms in Alcudia in Spain. So everybody who is not in Spain is pleased to know that it is cold and windy where you are, Jamie.
As this was a family show, there was an answer there, but I can't say it. So, okay then, Phil. Right,
come on.
To introduce him then.
Please.
Right, we've got Lee Peltier on today. He came in July of 2011 from Huddersfield. It was one of Sven's signings. We bought him for $750,000, rising to $1 million if he made a certain amount of appearances. He scored a goal on his debut against Cov. Unfortunately, he was only here for a year. He left in the August of 2012. He played 47 games and scored 2 goals. So I think we better bring him on and see what he's got to say.
Here we go. Lee, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you all?
Hi, Lee. You all right?
Yeah,
we're good.
I'm good.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us, Lee. That's an absolute pleasure to have you on. Jamie, do you want to kick off with the first question?
Oh, yeah, I'll start as normal. Right, Lee, how did Sven persuade you to come and join City from Huddersfield at the time?
What it was is obviously that the back end of that season, I got to the playoff final with Huddersfield, and we got beaten in the final. And after the game, the chairman come up to me and he said basically that they've more or less accepted the offer from Leicester, depended on obviously if we went up or not. And then from there it just escalated quickly, and I was made up. Obviously I thought I was ready to go to the next stage, having only been playing in League One. So then as soon as I heard the interest in that, I was desperate to go.
Yeah, because you
had
any... Go on, Jamie.
I was going to say, did you actually know anybody at the club that gave you any information about it, or was it just like what you'd read in papers and stuff like that?
No, I think Derek Verzakli was there, and he coached me at Huddersfield. So I had a little bit of an inkling on, like, there was sort of interest there and stuff like that. So obviously it was just the waiting game, because I was focusing on a playoff final before that. So as I said, Huddersfield accepted the offer and I went straight away.
Because you'd had a good season before, like you say, at Huddersfield. How was it in that playoff final, losing it? I assume it was pretty gutting, but assume pick up if you were going to move up the league.
Yeah, definitely. It was devastating, to be fair, because the year before that we got beaten the playoff semis, and I thought that was obviously the next year we were a young team, and I thought the experience of getting beaten the semis would have took us on to the next level, but it weren't to be. We had a great team, young team. Obviously, we got beat in the final, and the club sold quite a few of the players after that.
I've got a question here for you, Lee, from one of the Leicester fans, Mirko, who's watching from Holland. Mirko says, who was your favourite teammate while you were at Leicester?
It'd have to be Danzy. Obviously, I knew Danzy for a long, long time. He's from the same area as me in Liverpool, and he went to school with my brothers and that. So we've been friends for years and years. But obviously, a fellow Scouser as well. So it was class that he was there with me at the same time.
We had Neil Dans on just the other week, didn't we, Jamie?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody dance now. He was brilliant. He was fantastic.
Great guy.
So when you came in, I think you were the first signing of Sven that summer. You also had, I think, Kasper, Nugent, Paul Konchesky came as well. Did you think Leicester were actually going places when they started bringing these names in? Could you see us actually moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, with just the manager as well, as Sven-Göran Eriksson, you know what I mean? Is a world-known manager. But yeah, the players they were signing were unbelievable players for that level. There were so many players coming in. I was just happy. I was happy to be the first to get my foot in the door because of the size of the club and the ambitions they had. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, Sven, obviously, you'll have to forgive me, Lee. I'm not sure. Who was your manager at Huddersfield?
It was Lee Clark.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
But a good manager, good guy. Obviously, Sven came with all the credentials to Leicester, and there was massive plans at the start of that season with yourselves in there. I think the aim was very much that season to go up, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, they did spend a lot of money and they did show that ambition. Possibly it was a bit naive to think you could just put a team together, but from all over the place and just gel straight away and go up first time asking. But maybe if there was a little bit of time, it could have happened. But obviously it did happen after the year that he went. So yeah.
Somebody on Facebook has asked you. Sorry, Jamie. I was just going to say somebody on Facebook was asking you, Lee, what was it like to be coached by Sven? It was only, I think, 13 games, but how was he around the club? Was he a good coach? Were you learning stuff?
Yeah, he was a great guy, and I think he obviously had the respect of all the players for what he's achieved in his career. Nobody can take that away from him. Sometimes things just don't happen for you, and as a person, he was a great guy. He was so laid back, chilled. He was good with me. He had a good team around him in terms of coaches and physio staffs and stuff like that. So for me, I thought he was good. Maybe he needed a little bit more time. I don't know, but I've got to give him a lot of respect for even signing me.
Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, you've sort of asked half the question I was going to ask. How did Sven and Nigel Pearson compare on and off the training pitch? And did you get on better with Sven or did you get on better with Nigel?
Totally two different characters.
Yeah.
Probably the opposite from each other, totally. Nigel was a great manager in his own right. He was very hands-on. He had the aura about him. Like, I think he struck fear into the lads. Everyone was like sort of scared to cross him. But he was respected, and he was a great manager as well. Yeah.
Jamie?
Oh, sorry. No, go on, Phil. I was going to ask a different question to that.
Well, I mean, Lee, what I was going to ask you next, with the Sven saga as it was, 13 games, we lost to, I don't know if you remember it, we lost to Millwall, I think 3-0. And then it all sort of came crashing down. I think a lot of Leicester fans were surprised at how quickly it all sort of started to change in that season with Sven going. Were the players? Yeah,
definitely. But obviously the owners were expecting results with the money that they backed them with, because they did back him massively, brought in a lot of players, and obviously we weren't getting the results. But as I say, maybe it was a bit naive to think that bringing, I don't know how many players it was, I think it was 10, 11 players in, and just making a new team and getting results straight away was, a bit naive, but it weren't to be. So, and obviously that called for the sacking of him.
There's one. Chappie's just asked a question, Phil. Have you come back as a player to play at the King Power?
Yeah, I was there last season for Cardiff when we, I think we won.
Oh, you won 1-0, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And did you get a good reception when you came back from like the fans? Because with me living in Spain, I don't get to see that quite a lot. But
yeah, it was nice. Yeah, and it was great to go back because it's a great club. Just the people around the stadium who work at the stadium, the physios and that I bumped into. It was great to see everyone, and as I say, I got a warm reception from the fans, which was great. it was obviously the result weren't good for Leicester, but it was I enjoyed my night there.
Lee,
Did you have a good laugh with Birch when you went back?
Do you know what? I didn't see Birch. I didn't see him when I went back. No.
That's a shame.
I know.
Because Lee, you pretty much played. You must have played almost every game that season for Leicester. You were an ever-present fixture, I would say, without checking all the stats. You played. I think Jamie was it over. It was well over 40 games.
It was 40. It was 47. He played and scored 2 goals.
Yeah. Obviously, when I first signed, the gaffer, the manager, told me he was going to be bringing in a lot of players, and then he told me he was bringing in John Pansel, and I was going to be sort of his understudy because it was my first time in the Championship. And obviously Leicester had bought me, obviously maybe thinking of the future or whatever, but they more or less said to me I was going to be the understudy for John Pansel, but I weren't having that, so obviously I just worked my socks off, and I think he got injured for the first game or something like that, and I just took my opportunity, and then from there I didn't look back. I thought I had a good season that season. Obviously I played a lot of games and I was keeping John out the team, and I was still quite young, and I would say it was my first year in the Championship, and I was happy with the way things went.
I've got a question here. Well, a statement more from Russell, who's watching on YouTube. He says, your goal against Coventry on your debut for Leicester, he'll never forget. It was his 18th birthday and was the best present ever. It was going to be a pretty good way to start your career at Leicester.
Oh, definitely. It was. I couldn't ask for a better debut. I don't score many goals. Don't think I've scored since. Scoring in a derby on my debut was absolutely unbelievable, and to see the fans going crazy behind the goal, I'll never forget that moment.
Did it feel like the step up? Because obviously Huddersfield, is a great club and a good ground. Did it feel like it was something a bit bigger coming to Leicester and scoring that goal?
Yeah, definitely. From the minute I stepped foot into the door, the stadium, the training facilities, the manager they had, the players they had, everything about it was a step up, and even a step up again, you could say, because the manager, the players they had, they were all Premiership quality, the facilities, everything. So when I went there, I was amazed by what I was seeing. I was just so happy to be there.
Jamie?
Yeah, I was going to say, just going towards, I mean, you're only there for the year. Did you have a feeling that you knew you were going to be leaving, or we literally just told one day, right, you're not in the squad, or you're not going to be part of the plans?
No, what it was is, obviously I played every game.
Yeah.
And as I say, I was signed for as a sort of understudy. So when that Nigel come, he told me he was going to be signing Richie Delat, I think it was at the time. And I sort of being young and naive, I sort of spat me dummy out and sort of was like, well, I've just had obviously it was my first season in the Championship. I was like, I've just had a great season.
Yeah.
For me anyway, my first season in the Championship, it's just gone well for me. Played 47 games. Like, why are you bringing someone in to replace me? I just couldn't get my head around it. So obviously we sort of disagreed. No fault of anybody. It's obviously my decision. And then obviously I just Leeds come calling after that, and obviously Leeds was a massive club as well. So I thought, obviously there's a club there that's wanting me, and then a club there that's trying to sign somebody. I don't know if it was to replace me or what, but that was the feeling I got.
And I think that's important, isn't it, Lee? Obviously, from anybody, whether you're a footballer or whether you work somewhere, it doesn't matter. If you've got to feel wanted and needed, haven't you? And Leeds, like you say, us Leicester fans, we think Leicester are a decent sized club, but I'll give it to Leeds. They are a good big club, and they got big ambitions again this season. So that was playing at Ellen Road, big crowds.
Yeah, definitely. And I was actually I actually didn't realise how big of a club Leeds is. A humongous club. It's like, seriously, even if they went into the Premiership now, they'd be one of the biggest teams in the Premiership. Obviously with the fan base, the history of the club and everything. And obviously when I actually sat down and realised the opportunity I had to play for Leeds, and I was captain there for 2 years, didn't go as well as I wanted it to go. Due to me not realising the size and the pressures of being at a club like that. And obviously I was captain, I was still a young lad. But Yeah, it was a great club. It was another great club. Yeah.
I mean, we'll let you off the fact, Lee, that I'm looking at your record now. You played 7 games on loan for Nottingham Forest. We'll just skip gaily over that, shall we? As Leicester fans.
Wasn't there a problem there when you first signed for Notts Forest? Something about your loan got turned down or something? Yeah,
it was absolutely. It was mental what happened. Obviously, at Leeds, the Brian McDermott at the time, he told me like I could go on loan. So I was like, fine. My agent rang me and said, listen, Forest, I've just sacked the manager. I think it was Billy Davies at the time. And he said, Neil Warnock's going in. And they want you to go on loan. So I was like, another big club, do you know what I mean? I was like, it's another fantastic club and a great opportunity for me. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely go down. It's only a loan and what have you. I'll go down. As I got there, I went into the office and all that. I was waiting around for absolutely ages. And I was like, what's happening? Like to my agent, and he was like, I just can't get hold of the manager, which was apparently meant to be Neil Warnock. But anyway, cut a long story short, Neil Warnock didn't turn up, and the owner.
I remember some of this. Yeah,
the owner took me into the office and said, "Sign the papers. Don't worry about anything." Blah blah blah.
Don't worry who the manager is. Yeah.
No, so I've gone in and signed on loan, and then when I've come out, they've said to me, "Well, actually, Neil Warnock's not going to be the manager." And at the time, I had a couple of clubs after me, and I was only going like for. Well, not just for Neil, but I obviously knew the manager, and that was a big pull for me. I think Bolton and a couple of other clubs wanted me at the time. So I went back in and I said, listen, like, obviously I've signed with no manager. I have no clue what's going to happen to me, or who knows I'm coming. It was like no one knew I was signing for the club. So he's like, don't worry. He was like, don't worry about it. You're going to play this, that, the other. I was like, well, I think it'd be better if we sort of cancelled the contract and wait and see what happens. And he said, no, like we processed it now. So you're not. I was made up to still be at the club. Don't get me wrong, but obviously there was a lot of uncertainty around the place with like nobody knew who was going to be the manager, etc. But anyway, I signed there on loan and I finished the season off there, and it went really well. I enjoyed my time there as well.
Jamie,
on your career, just on your career in general, because you spent most of it at right back and centre back. You didn't play anywhere else, did you? Mainly at them 2 positions. Yeah. Who would be your like toughest opponent you've come up against while you're actually playing?
Last year was a big eye opener when we played in the Prem for Cardiff, and I come up against the likes of Leroy Sané. He was a tough guy to play against, really tough. Adama Traore, he was unbelievable. Who else was there? There was loads, but I'll probably say them 2 stuck out.
Excellent. I've got a question here. I've just got to find it. Out of the current Leicester City side, Lee, which players have surprised you maybe over the last year, and which players do you rate the most?
Out the current side, I mean, Fards has gone on to be absolutely unbelievable. It probably did. I'm not saying I didn't believe, but what he's actually gone on to achieve in his career has been, I don't think anybody would have believed it. But he's done absolutely great. Probably Fards.
Yeah, Jamie.
Did you ever play against him when you were at Leeds? Or yeah, he would have been at Leicester, wouldn't he? Then yeah,
he was at Leicester when I was there. Yeah, as well. And I have played against him as well. But he's just took it to the next level again. He's gone on to be absolutely one of the best strikers in the Premiership.
Yeah, did you cross over? Was he there while you were at Leicester? Because I know some of the like Casper was there as well while you were there. Some of the team who's still there.
Yeah, no, Casper was there. Wes was there. But Fards come the second season. Nigel Pearson signed them, and I was still there at the time. And that's when he come in and he paid, I think, £1 million for him or something like that at the time.
The best million we've ever spent, I think.
Hands down.
Well, while you were at Leicester, who was the joker in the pack when you went on away games, Lee? Who did you room with? Was there any mischief you could talk us about?
I room with Danzy. But
yeah.
The Joker was probably Sean St. Ledger. He was funny. He was a funny guy, and he was a great guy to be around.
Yeah,
he's a very infectious person, but he was quality. Nuge as well was Joker.
Yeah,
they was good. They were really good lads there. Really good lads.
Who would be the most skillful player while you were there?
Most skillful,
apart from yourself, obviously, Lee.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. Probably
you can't say Danzy again, can you?
No, not Danzy. I'd probably say Gally. Not in terms of actual skill, but the technical ability he had was absolutely unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it when I turned up at that club, and the goals he was scoring and the way he was striking the ball. I was like, oh my god, this kid's absolutely unbelievable. So I'll probably go for Gally, to be fair.
Because there's some great players. I'm just looking at the squad list for that season. Obviously, you got Matt Oakley was there, Andy King, Lloyd Dyer, Danny Drinkwater.
Yeah.
So it was that season we had got it was probably the beginnings of what was going to go on towards the Championship winning side, the Greatest Escape side, and the Premier League side. Lee, we asked this to a lot of ex-Leicester players. You wouldn't have seen that one coming while you were there, would you? Leicester win the Premier League, in honesty.
No. Probably
no.
Like, Leicester's a massive club, and obviously it's come so far in a short space of time. It's one of the biggest clubs now. Like the fan base it's got, the stadium, the players, everything about it. The manager they've got now it's a massive club. But when I signed, I think that was the building blocks, the foundation of when the new owners come and they were putting in the money to the club, and obviously they've gone on to achieve greatness. So fair play.
And Jamie, we need to wrap it up now. Obviously, Lee, you're at West Brom now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Have you played a game yet? Have you started? Have you actually started a game or been?
No, it's been a funny one, to be fair. Like I signed on the last day of the transfer window, and I weren't playing at Cardiff at the time, and the gaffer rang me and he just said, "Listen, bit short and in certain areas." And he said, "I can't guarantee you to your games or whatever, but I'd love you to come down for your experience and whatever, to have you and when you needed to play, etc." And he was honest with me, and it was great. And I thought it's a great opportunity for me to go. So anyway, I went and signed down on the final day of the transfer window, and then they played on the Saturday. After the Saturday, they went like on an 8-9 game winning spree, like didn't get beat. I think they've been beat once since I signed, and then obviously he's kept faith in the squad, which you're entitled to do, and he's been great with me. The gaffer is absolutely amazing, and all the lads, everybody at the clubs made me feel welcome. But then obviously this situation's arose, and this has knocked us back again for 2 months. So hopefully soon we'll be back playing.
Hopefully. That leads us on to our last question that we ask everybody. With your accent, we all know you from Liverpool. Are you a blue or a red?
It's only one team in Liverpool.
So that's Everton then.
So I know we're going to allegedly start football in the first week of June again. Would you want to start now, or how would you actually finish the season you set with the Premier League? How would you finish it?
I mean, obviously, if it's safe enough, it needs to be finished. Obviously, the health comes first, and I'm sure everybody's working away to ensure the health and the safety of all the players and everybody who's going to be involved. So as long as everybody's happy with that side of it, I don't see why it shouldn't go on.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think that's great talk. And obviously, you are a Liverpool fan then, Lee.
Yeah, definitely.
Crikey. I mean, half the world's willing Liverpool to get this season finished and win it. And I know there's quite a few fans hoping something else happens. So Liverpool just don't get over the line.
There's only one place that title's going this year, is Liverpool.
You deserve it after 30-odd years.
Yeah, definitely. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, absolutely. Lee Peltier, thanks a lot for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Cheers, guys. Take care of yourselves.
Cheers, Lee. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lee. I'll let you go now. That's absolutely brilliant to have Lee with us, wasn't it, Jamie?
Yes, it was. A thoroughly decent chat. Decent chat with him. few things he told us about that we didn't know. So there we go. These players are coming on and telling the stories.
And a great career as well. He's played at a good set of clubs, like you say, some big clubs there, not only just Leicester.
He has, isn't he?
Yeah, Leeds.
Think about it: Liverpool, Huddersfield, Leicester, Leeds,
Forest. Yeah, we'll let that one go.
So he's played at some big clubs, if you think about it.
And we were all surprised when he went after that season because he was like an ever-present, and we thought we were, but it's
totally
sometimes show it was a real shame he left us in at the end of that season when he had a good one. Jamie, are you doing your live tomorrow morning?
Yes, because we've got some things to talk about tomorrow. So yes, I'll be here 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock your time, 11 o'clock my time. So yes, I'll be here. Monday night, we have got James Gowcroft at 7:30 UK time.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jamie, for joining us again.
Cheers all.
Well, I'll let Jamie go. I can gladly say he can't go and sunbathe today, which is great news. So we'll see you soon. Thanks, Jamie, for watching. Thanks, everybody, as well. Thanks to all the sponsors as ever, the guys at Emergency Glazing, Pink Vehicle Leasing, Everard's Tiger, ADT Taxis, Peter's Pizzas, the Fox's Arms, the very own Fox's Arms, Hologram, Harlow, and, of course, we're proud to support Bodie Hodges, which is our chosen charity for the moment. Most of all, thanks for all your comments and questions. Keep them coming in. Join Jamie tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. UK time or wherever you are watching in the world. My name's Phil. This is Leicester Fan TV. We'll see you soon. Keep safe.